Hey guys, welcome back to Barry Mount's channel. Today we're going to talk about how to make sure you keep off the weight after weight loss surgery. So this is a really interesting topic because as many as 50% of patients experience some sort of regain after surgery, and I have been one of those. So I lost 160 pounds and regained about 60 pounds. And I am currently on that journey right now to lose the regain that I had gained, and it's been a struggle. So I wanted to get on here today and talk about this and hopefully give you some tips so you don't experience regain. The best advice that I can give you is to remember to treat this as a tool. This is not going to do all the work for you. It's going to make it a lot easier for you, but it's not a fix-all. You have to look at this surgery as a tool. I remember I started regaining pretty slowly. It was a slow process. It's not like I just woke up and had gained 60 pounds. It was a pretty slow process, and it was because I started putting things back into my diet. First, I started with carbonation. I started with soda. I put soda back in, and that kind of opened up the door to other things. And slowly but surely, I just kept putting on more weight, and I just couldn't keep up. The thing about this surgery is that it gets easier. The further out you get, the more you're able to eat, and it gets easier to put things back in your diet. And you might think, oh, well, I'll just eat this and I won't be able to eat a lot, so it won't hurt me. But the problem is, and something that I used to do, is that I would eat a little bit of something, say a piece of cake. I'd eat a little piece of cake and then I would wait like an hour and eat the rest of the cake. So it's so hard to not eat like that. It's so hard not to get in that routine where you eat a little bit, wait, and then eat a little bit more. It's so hard once you get in that to get out of it. I hope that made sense. But what I'm trying to say is that once you start tricking the system like I was doing, it's a lot harder to put an end to that and to go back to the way your mind should be working with the surgery. Another thing I'd really recommend that you do is stay in contact with your surgeon. I did not stay in contact with my surgeon. After about a year post-op, I stopped going. And it's really important that you keep those appointments going because you can see if you're losing on the right track. Perhaps you've put something in your diet and you need to make sure it's okay. These types of appointments are critical after surgery, and it's something that I wish I would have done more of, staying in contact with my surgeon, because it probably would have helped me get back on track after I started gaining, 10 pounds. Something that really harmed me is when I put sweets back in. Sweets are something, especially during the beginning, that your body's just not going to be able to tolerate because of dumping syndrome. But like I said, the further out you get, the easier it is for you to eat these things. It doesn't hurt as bad. It doesn't cause dumping as bad. And I remember that when I had my son, I was breastfeeding at the time and would wake up in the night, have to feed him. And one thing I did is I'd keep little Hershey Kisses by my bed, and I would sit there and snack on them while I was feeding him in the middle of the night. And it was such a bad habit that I formed. And because of that, now sometimes I will randomly wake up in the night wanting chocolate. And it's just because my mouth is watering right now thinking about chocolate. But it's something that I put back in. I put in this unhealthy habit, and it caused everything to spiral out of control. So if you have a trigger food, if you have something that you just cannot have just one piece of it, take it out of your diet. Don't put it back in, because if you have no control over it, it's going to cause you to regain. The next piece of advice is to follow the system. Follow what your surgeon is recommending. If he or she says that you need to eat this amount at this time, eat this amount at this time, and this amount at this time, follow what they're saying because they know what they're talking about. Don't sit there and push back. Really use those nutritional guidelines as your Bible. I mean, carry it around and follow it to the T. I was really good in the early stages of following exactly what I should be eating and drinking. And it wasn't until about a year post-op where I really started to slip. And I wish that I wouldn't have. I wish that I would have kept looking at those guidelines as like a necessity. Another thing to make sure you're doing after surgery is to get moving. Find something, some form of working out or some form of just getting up and moving to get you into the habit of working out. A lot of times it's really hard in the beginning because this is a lifestyle you probably haven't been doing, and it can be tricky to get the motivation to do it. But I promise you, if you start those habits early, they're going to continue on, and then you're not going to have the chance to regain because you're going to be having such a healthy lifestyle. Not everyone can just go and get on a treadmill and work out for an hour. Not everyone wants to do that. Some people do, but other people require things like swimming or tennis or Zumba. Whatever it is, find your passion and start doing it, because if you put those healthy habits in, you're probably not going to have the unhealthy eating habits either. I'm the kind of person that if I put the work into working out an hour a day, there is no way I'm going to eat a cupcake or something to ruin that hard work I've just done. And I'm training my mind to get that way again, because there was a while where I was like, well, I can eat this way because I worked out for an hour. That doesn't work. Don't do that. But for a lot of people, and for me personally, it makes it a lot harder to want to eat something because you've put in all this time and all this effort into working out and getting healthy, that it's a lot easier for you to want to make healthy eating habits as well. The last piece of advice that I'd give you is to talk to people. Find a community, find a therapist, find friends and family you can talk to about this, and be open about your journey, because you're not always going to have easy days. You're going to have some days where you just want to sit and eat an entire pizza. Now, that would be very hard for you as a bariatric patient, but it doesn't change the fact that you want to do it. And part of this journey is being on this journey together and finding people who are going through this with you, and you can have this community to really help you through that difficult time. This community here on Barry Melt's channel is amazing because we all have each other to support one another. We're all on this same path together, just in different phases, and it's just really cool that we have each other to help get us through these hard times. If you do experience regain, don't let that just be the end for you. Don't just fall off the wagon and stay off the wagon. If you've regained some, it's okay. Get back on it though. Get back on it and tackle that beast. I am currently tackling mine, and it is a struggle. Once you've regained some, it is a struggle to get back on track. I'm not gonna lie, but you can do it. I know I can do it, and if I can do it, you can do it. Don't let this talk of regain scare you, because it is scary to think about the fact that you could lose all this weight and then regain it all. Don't let it scare you, but use this as a piece of knowledge to help you make sure that you don't make these mistakes. Remember, 50% of people who have the surgery experience some form of regain. It doesn't mean they've experienced the entire regain back and gained all their weight back, but it does mean that some form of regain has happened. Don't be that statistic. Don't be that statistic, and work so hard on this that you don't experience regain. And like I said, if you do experience some, it's okay. Just get back on the wagon. Don't forget, you are kicking butt, okay? And you can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. We can do this together. So again, don't let this scare you, but please use it in the back of your head to remember that it can happen. And I believe that that'll help you be more successful because you are mindful of something that could happen. You got this, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.